Every kid who kicks a ball imagines the same thing. The stadium is packed. The anthem is playing. Millions are watching. And somehow, they're standing on the pitch at the FIFA World Cup. Most people think those dreams disappear because of obvious reasons. A terrible injury. A missed penalty. A bad coach. But what if that's not true? What if World Cup dreams are actually destroyed by things so normal, most players never even notice them? Things that happen years before anyone knows whether they'll become a star. Today, we're looking at 7 surprisingly common things that quietly destroy World Cup dreams. And some of them start before a player is even old enough to understand what's happening. Number 1. Being born in the wrong month. Imagine 2 footballers. They're both 12 years old. They're both in the same age group. But one player was born in January. The other was born in December. Technically, they're the same age. In reality, one has almost an entire year of physical development on the other. At 12 years old, that's huge. The January player is often taller, stronger, faster, more coordinated. And because coaches and scouts naturally notice those advantages, that player gets more playing time, better coaching, and more opportunities. Meanwhile, the December-born player may be just as talented, but gets overlooked. Researchers call this the relative age effect. And it's been found again and again in elite youth football. Which means some future stars never even enter the development system, not because they lack talent, but because they were born at the wrong time of year. Your World Cup dream might be damaged before you even kick a ball. And it gets even stranger. Number 2. Dominating too early. Most people think being the best player at 14 guarantees a bright future. Football doesn't always work that way. In fact, some academies quietly worry about youth superstars. Here's why. A teenager who is bigger, faster, and stronger than everyone else can get away with things. They don't need to scan as much. They don't need perfect technique. They don't need elite decision-making. Their physical advantage solves everything. Until one day it doesn't. As everyone else catches up physically, the gap disappears. And suddenly the player who dominated youth football is struggling. Meanwhile, the kid who had to think faster, move smarter, and develop better technique starts flying past them. Sometimes being too good too early becomes a hidden trap. But growth itself can become a problem too. Number 3. A wrong growth spurt. Parents love growth spurts. Coaches sometimes fear them. A young player can suddenly grow 10 or even 15 centimeters in a short period. Sounds amazing. Except the body doesn't always adapt immediately. Balance changes. Timing changes. Coordination changes. Simple movements suddenly feel awkward. A player who looked smooth and confident 6 months ago can suddenly look clumsy. And here's the dangerous part. Some academies make decisions during this phase. Players get dropped, released, written off, only for their coordination to return months later. By then, the opportunity may already be gone. One growth spurt, one bad stretch, and a future career changes direction forever. But physical development isn't the only thing that can limit a player. Sometimes it's how they're trained. Number 4. Becoming a specialist too young. The striker. The winger. The centre-back. Sounds impressive when you're 10 years old. But it can quietly become a problem. Many future internationals spent their childhood moving between positions. They learned different responsibilities, different angles, different ways of seeing the game. That variety built football intelligence. But some youth players get locked into a single role very early. They become specialists before they've fully learned football. Then the game changes. A new coach arrives. A different system is used. Tactical demands evolve. And suddenly they're struggling to adapt. The World Cup rewards players who can solve problems. Youth football often rewards players who simply repeat the same solutions. And sometimes winning creates an even bigger problem. Number 5. Winning too much. This one sounds completely backwards. How can winning hurt development? Imagine a youth team with a talented midfielder. Every time he's under pressure, the coach tells him, "Just kick it long." The team wins. Parents are happy. Trophies arrive. Everyone celebrates. But something important never develops. The player never learns how to escape pressure. Never learns difficult passing angles. Never learns elite ball retention. Years later, he reaches a higher level. Now every defender is faster, stronger, smarter. The easy solution no longer works. And suddenly the skills he never developed become impossible to ignore. The youth trophies remain. The World Cup dream fades away. Because sometimes success hides weaknesses instead of fixing them. And where you play matters too. Number 6. Living too far from elite competition. Picture two equally talented players. Same ability. Same work ethic. Same potential. One regularly faces elite opponents. The other dominates a weaker local league. Guess which player usually improves faster? The one being challenged. The second player might score every weekend. Win every match. Look unstoppable. But easy success creates a dangerous illusion. Without strong opponents, weaknesses stay hidden. Decision-making isn't tested. Technical flaws aren't exposed. Bad habits survive. Many international players say their biggest improvement happened when they started facing stronger competition every week. Not because they suddenly became more talented. Because they finally had to adapt. Easy success often feels great. But improvement usually lives on the uncomfortable side of football. And there's one final trap that catches even elite prospects. Number 7. Getting identified as a talent too soon. This sounds impossible. Surely being labeled a future star is a good thing. Not always. The moment a young player becomes the next big thing, everything changes. Expectations rise. Pressure increases. Mistakes become more expensive. And many players stop taking risks. Why? Because they're protecting a reputation. Instead of experimenting, they play safe. Instead of learning, they try not to fail. The label becomes a cage. Some players spend years trying to live up to the hype. Others become afraid of making mistakes. And slowly, development stalls. The dream isn't destroyed by failure. It's destroyed by fear of failure. Most people think World Cup dreams are destroyed by one big moment. A missed penalty. A devastating injury. A coach's decision. But the truth is darker. Most dreams disappear years earlier. Through tiny advantages. Hidden biases. Bad timing. Growth spurts. Easy competition. Premature success. And invisible decisions nobody notices until it's too late. Because in football, the biggest obstacles aren't always the obvious ones. Sometimes they're the normal things happening quietly in the background while everyone is looking somewhere else. So the next time you see a World Cup star lifting a trophy, remember this. For every player who made it, thousands had the dream. And lost it long before anyone knew their name. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more football stories and hidden truths behind the world's biggest game. And we'll see you in the next one.